So today I'm going to talk about is the rune stone, Nauthiz. If you see, continuing from where I left last time, a simple stick is nothing but Isa, which means it's a challenge. And when a small stick crossing it shows up, it's saying that there is something that needs to be addressed. There is a certain attention that is needed, or something very basic is missing or is not available. See, there are a lot of meanings to this rune stones. If you go to the internet, it will say once these two sticks starting to start a fire, it was a war rune. All of that is okay. We're not going into that. And I just want to make the examples very real for you to understand the rune. So, this rune is saying that there is something that needs your attention or needs to be attended to. So, despite whatever is your difficulty or situation which is going on, there is still something that is asking for an urgency to be solved. So, I have come across this piece of news where Smriti Rani says that there is no consideration for giving a paid leave for menstrual, for women who want leave for mensing days. So she says there is no such any law or clause that we are discussing or is underway to make any provision for leave, paid leave for women who are mensing for so many days, and they get to take so many days paid leave. Now there are people there are some people who are starting to give suggestions on it. But before I go there, let us talk about the mensing stories or mensing part. You know, once I went to a shop, and there was a very young girl, college going girl. She used to attend the shop. And one day she was looking very distressed. And I said, "What happened? Why are you so distressed?" And she said, "I haven't got my periods." I said, "It's okay. Maybe, you're late by a few days or something." She said, "No, I haven't got it again this month." I said, "Are you regular? Are you getting them every month?" And then she says, "No, I didn't get it for last 2 years." I said, "You didn't get your periods for 2 years?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Why are you worried this month then?" She said, "No, because it's completing 2 years and I've still not got it." I've never heard anybody who may have this kind of period problem where they're not mensed or are not mensing for 2 years. And I was very shocked. And she said earlier also this has happened a few years back. And she said, "I did not mens for 6 months." I said, "This is not normal." She said, "I don't know what to do about it. I'm taking all the medicines." I said, "Okay." She must be 23, 24. Now I'll tell you one more incident. Once I was talking to a woman, and some period talk started, or mensing talk started. And she said, "I got my periods when I was 19." And she has children now. I said, you got your periods when you were 19? She said, yeah. She said, and I was married in the age of 20. I said, you got your periods when you're 19 and you got married at the age of 20. She said, yeah. And she had children at the age of 21. You know, one, Indian politicians should not be traveling by car. They should be traveling by bus. They should not get a plane ticket, but they should ride the train. And when they take holidays, they should not go overseas. They should travel to the rural India. Then they will hear these stories and real life experiences. You know, in these both instances, you should be shocked about how someone is not gotten periods for 2 years, and she says few years back I did not get it for 6 months, and then another woman at some other time is telling me that she got her periods when she was 19, which is not okay. You know, there is something happening to Indian society. 1% of Indian top rich control the 40% of India's wealth. 1% of Indian rich hold 40% of India's riches or money. And 60% of Indian population is below poverty line. You know, when Smriti Irani says, or when women are saying, some minister is saying there should be a provision for paid leave for women who are mensing and have periods, are starting to talk suddenly for women who are not at all healthy and are experiencing great pain to the point that they can't walk, maybe they can't even sit or work during their periods. As more and more people are moving into below 60 or into this below 60, are getting added into this 60%, which is below poverty line, their health is very, very poor. And you can imagine when unhealthy bodies are having children, they will have some kind of a disease already in them. And increasingly, more and more women, because of poor diet and very less money for proper food and good food, will start to experience great mensing pain in their periods. And whether Smriti Irani likes it or not, if her party and ministers, prime ministers keep flying the rocket to the moon, India is going to become from 60% below poverty line to 80% below poverty line. and then she will have no other choice but to make the law to give the paid leave to the women during their mensing period, because they have no bodies, they have no diet, and now mensing has become such a mountainous effort for them that they want to just be resting during their menses or periods. When you keep your population poor, they are going to keep getting more and more diseased and have bad bodies. When the minister says that she's disappointed that Smriti Irani says there is no consideration for some such law, she's talking about the poorest of poor or women with really bad bodies. So when the minister says that we should make a law for leave for mensing women, you don't need to make a law for giving them a paid leave. You need to start trimming your population, and wealth cannot be controlled by so few. The wealth needs to trickle down, and people should have good bodies because they've eaten good food and are strong. It's very normal for, I've heard a lot of my friends or even people around me tell me that, you know, they've had a severe mensing pain and this and that. I've never had any mensing pain, never missed my periods. Why is the minister not looking after the diet of the women? There's a celebrity Poonam Pandey. She went to something like Big Boss or some such thing, a reality show. And then she says that she doesn't mense. Either she never mensed or she stopped mensing from a very young age. It's not a normal. You can't have people with very bad bodies going on reproducing, then you are forever taking money or taxes from healthy people to look after deceased children and bodies. Somebody will say, maybe even the rich women are experiencing this pain. Someone once told me that a lot of girls have started mensing at the age of 9. I said 9 is too early. The most right age, I think, biologically for a woman to start mensing is 13 and 14. On one end, someone is telling me that she started mensing at 19, which is very, very late. And then someone is telling me some women have, or girls have started mensing even at 9, which is too early. At 9, a child, it's too early. I said, how does somebody start mensing at 9? And then I got told these are girls from very rich family who eat the most finest and richest of food. And that's how they start mensing even at the age of 9. Look at the nonsense going on in this world. Maybe now you will have, when they have this, trillionaires and multi-billionaires, maybe their daughters or something will start mensing even at the age of 2. because they're the only one eating the most healthy and freshest of foods. Regular population can keep having mensing problems. There cannot be so much of money concentration in the hands of few. And you can't have exceptionally poor people where the bodies are so bad that they start mensing so late. Or someone just telling me that, I have not mensed for 2 years. I get it, someone got it late for few days. Not mensed for 2 years. And she was from an exceptionally poor family. So the ministers don't have to be running around asking for leave for mensing cycle for women. Instead, they should trim down the population and stop flying the rocket to the moon. You're pushing people to poverty by collecting taxes and then flying the rocket to the moon, which costs 50,000 crores. So, when I'm explaining this rune Nauthiz, it's saying already existence is a challenge. And now there is something that has shown up that needs an urgent attention or needs to be resolved. And it is the quality of life. Now, when we reverse the rune, we get drudgery. What that means is it is just a bad existence. Or living a bad life. And that all comes with poverty. Not having enough or good food to eat. Not having a proper house. So while I'm explaining the runestone with the real life examples, India is just hitting shit with the population explosion. The 60% which is below poverty line is going to reproduce really worrisome children in the future. And you can't have ultra rich also. You can't have 1% controlling 40% of India's wealth. So the one thing that government needs to address is not the paid leave for whether women mensing or how badly they need it, but cut down the population and the rich.